Guys, you want my pick for UFC 277? I'm taking the underdog. I'm taking Kai France to beat Brandon Moreno. And yes, I'm putting my money where my mouth is at DraftKings Sportsbook. If you're a new customer, you can bet $5 on any fighter to win and get $100 in free bets, win or lose. DraftKings is the only sportsbook that offers same-game parlays on UFC events. Combine multiple bets, like which fighter will win, how long the fight will last, and more. Just place your UFC 277 same-game parlay, and if it hits, you're going to win double. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. Best of all, you can deposit and withdraw your cash whenever you want. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now. Use the promo code SONNEN. Bet $5 on any UFC 277 fighter to win, and you will get $100 in free bets, no matter what. That's code SONNEN this Saturday at DraftKings Sportsbook, the official sports betting partner of UFC. Khamzat Chimaev. One of the most interesting topics, guys. I used to do a Chimaev piece every single week. I would look at the topics I had done in the week. If I had done a Chimaev piece, I put one in every week. He was always doing something. Now his manager, and see, I need this. I need to see this because Chimaev can be as big of a favorite as they want. He can be as much of a squash match as they want. Nate Diaz will whip your ass. Conor McGregor thought he was in a squash match. I mean, just so you understand. You think Chimaev's big. Conor McGregor had 2 world championships and an interim. Conor McGregor had so many world championships, he forgot one of them. Conor McGregor has truly, this is a little, he has trademarked it, champ. Did you know that? You guys hear that term all the time. People are saying it. Technically, you have to pay Conor. It's just like, let's get ready to rumble, right? I mean, you can go out, you can lock down words. He's got champ. Now, the only reason I find that funny is he's a champ. I was there. I watched him win the injury. He forgot. He thinks he's a double champ. I've heard him tell people that. I'm a double champ. He's a 3-time champion. And I'm only telling you, that's way bigger than Chimaev. Oh, well, Chimaev's better than Conor. Well, he's got no championships, and Conor had 3. I mean, there's a true story. You do what you want with it. Conor walked into Nate Diaz. It was supposed to be a squash match. Not to mention, Nate took it on short notice. Nate beat him. Changed his career and changed his life. So, if you're Team Chimaev, you got to be goddamn sure your guy knows this dude's not going away. Great. That's probably all you have to know about Nate. Nate's probably not going to bring you a skill that you haven't seen before. That's true. He's going to bring you a grit. Great. If you know it, off you go. But now we heard from Chimaev's manager. And the manager said, we had our choice between Nate and Colby. We chose Nate because we think it's a bigger fight. Now, that's exactly what a manager's job is. You have no job. You have no goal every day that you wake up to help steer somebody else's career other than to get them the easiest fight for the most money. That's your only role. You'd be stunned how many managers don't even know that, let alone do it. So his manager said, we went with Nate. Great. Nothing to see here. Well, is that right, though? I'm just asking you, right? Like, I don't get to decide that. You do. You the audience. But is that right? Would you rather see Chimaev versus Nate or Chimaev versus Colby? Now, I have a hard time getting in on this one because I'm a hardcore. I go in a different category. I'm with you guys. We're 15% of the market. You can't count on us. You cannot keep the lights on with us. We need the other 85, which is known as casuals, which is actually changing. 85-15 was the split that was done in 2003 when these analytics were done. It's much closer to 70-30 now, just so you understand, but I'll follow the narrative. I share that with you because I do think that that's an interesting topic. I really do. I think that one is very clearly a number 1 contenders match for Chimaev. So now I know what's on it. I still don't know why Chimaev and Nate are fighting. It's the only piece that's the only thing that I don't know. I know what the odds are. I know the date. I know the weight class. I know the rules. I know how they're training. I got this whole thing figured out. I don't know why. I don't know what's on it. Dan Hardy suggested it's nothing more than spite by Dana. You know what? I love that story. If that's the truth, could we please have it? Now, we'll never get it. Even if Dan Hardy's right, we're never going to get it. In fact, Dana said the opposite. Dana said, look, man, this is the fight the fans want, but just so you understand, it's the fight that Nate wants. That was it. Okay. Okay, that crosses out any begrudgment by the boss. But boy, promoter versus athlete, that's one of the great storylines ever. It is truly the biggest WrestleMania of all time was Vince McMahon versus Hulk Hogan. I mean, just so you understand, promoter versus athlete works. When Tyron Woodley was coming up and selling out arenas and he was headlining cards, he had exposure over on TMZ and he wore the cool shades. He had all these things going. The number one topic he had was him versus Dana. It worked. That back and forth, it worked for years. Tito versus Dana, it worked. I'm only suggesting for you, I want to know why they're fighting. I think Dan Hardy could be onto something, but if that's not what's advertised, I'm still left at, is it a bigger fight to see Nate in there, or is it a bigger fight to see Colby in there where we know what's on it? Simple question. Food for thought, just having some fun here. Now, Chimaev came in on the back of his manager's statement. Apologize. The coach. Coach came in on the back of the manager's statement and said, I would like Chimaev, after Nate, to fight Kamaru or Leon and instantly go in to Pereira or Adesanya. Now, that's the same plan they've had from Jump Street. You can have all sorts of plans and all sorts of ideas. Right? I'm going to win the lottery tonight. I realize where plans are, but that's important to me. I needed to hear that. I did need to know, and I appreciate that the coach brought this to us, that their goals have not changed, that they have not slipped over to the fun business, that they have not slipped over to the big match, get your name on the marquee business. You are laser focused on a task or you're not going to achieve it, particularly in this sport. There's many a slip from a cup to a lip. Things will happen. Chris Curtis, what I talked to you guys about yesterday, having a hard time. Social media. And the number one message there, if I only had one, if I was talking to a group of kids, I could just hit them with one thing because I know their focus was bad. It's always okay to read what people say about you. Don't ever believe it. But that goes both ways. When they tell you you're worthless, you can't believe that. But if they tell you you're the best, you can't believe that either. You have to be steadfast. Eye on the ball. Eye on the prize. Where are you at in the bracket? Is this the quarterfinal match? Is this the semifinal match? Do I got the Russian? Do I got the Cuban? Any way that you got to break it down to stay focused. But you cannot go through a training camp of 2 or 3 months thinking, I got to gimme. Not because it'll bite you in the ass that night. It might not. Fighters know where they're at. They know when they're going to win a fight. It might not, but now you just wasted 3 months. You just wasted 3 months chasing a gimme as opposed to chasing what you want, which is the championship. And now I'm hearing that that's not the case. He's looking at this like a semifinal match. He thinks he goes from Nate right into the finals, and then he thinks he can bump up and go champ. Great, because everything's the same. That's where Chimaev needs to be. That's exactly where he needs to be. You look on the other side of the tracks, I don't think we have to worry about Nate, do we? I mean, is there any of you that think Nate is going to show up unprepared? Is there any of you that that think Nate doesn't know this is going to be a hellacious first round? That he's going to need to keep his chin down and his hands up. Nate knows what he's getting into. I'm interested in the comment Dana made. Dana said it's big business, but it's the match that Nate wants. I'm interested. That interests me. Nate went on Ariel's show. In his message, I rewound it. I rewound it again, and then I even called Ariel. I didn't hear it right. It was like a poetry. It was like a riddle. But Nate had said within his interview with Ariel, they've been offering me Chimaev. Offer me somebody else. They've been offering me Chimaev since November. Offer me someone else. And I'm not going to fight McGregor. Okay, the very next day he's fighting Chimaev. I go, okay, well, I'm confused. So then I get told that it's the fight that Nate wants. I go, wait a minute. If they were offering it since November and he wanted to fight, if that's the fight he wanted, why didn't he do it? On the other hand, if he's going to do it now, he's a stubborn guy. Maybe that is the fight that he wanted, but I want to hear that. I like everything about this match. I like the attraction. I like the what if. What if is fun. What if in the world of anticipation, and there's nothing that moves this business forward. People think it's great fights. People think it's rivalries. These things are a piece of it. I don't begrudge those. It's a piece of the pie. But there's only one word that moves the business forward. Only one thing that gets you to buy merchandise. Only one thing that gets you to buy a ticket. Only one thing that gets you excited, gets you talking about the water cooler. Anticipation. And what if is a hell of a driver. And there's been a lot of cold water thrown on this fire in the last week because of the odds, because of the spread. But as this fight gets closer, human psychology will change, and it will change to what if Nate knocks him out? What if Nate catches him in New York, which is the most cut-sensitive jurisdiction that we compete in? It's relevant. Cut him one time, that fight could be over. Josh Thompson was saying that Khabib was going to have a problem with Tony Ferguson. And the problem was they were going to fight in New York, and Tony's going to throw an elbow, and if he cuts Khabib, they could take the strap off him. It's very relevant. I'm just bringing that to you. It's very relevant. And all I've done to create right there, I'm talking about the cut, the jurisdiction, I've just created a what if. And that's coming. Right now it's the odds. Right now it's the he's leaving. Right now it's going to get to the consumer's mind, and that's you. What if Nate beats him? What if Nate cuts him? What if Nate stops him? What if Nate chokes him? What if Chimaev, who's only a human being, comes in much like Conor and empties his tank in the first round, thinking he can put this guy out of here? You want to know why Chimaev and Nate are fighting? You want to know what the glow and the story around this match is? 2 words. What if?